Hello, Libra. Raven. Very cool. We're here for your weekly messages. Body, mind, and heart for this coming week. Spirit, give us the energy, overall energies of the Libra Ravens for next week. I'm picking up a very confrontational, almost sassy, or sassy, almost confrontational energy. Could be the Mercury retrograde. Also because the full moon just went past, so the emotions that go with the full moon, right? Okay. Overall, physical 3D energies that are going on for Libra and Raven. This is Raven for the native sign. Options. You either have options or are an option. Gemini just got something like this. So perhaps you are dealing with a Gemini or have Gemini in your sign. Okay, and in your mind space, the Gemini, or Libra, going over your mind space for Libra for next week. Walking away from things no longer serve you. In your mind space, that's what you want to do, but your hermit mode next week, thinking about it, thinking that you're the star and that you deserve better, because you know you're, or you're doing stars also Aquarius, another air sign. Well, the energy just changed, man. From Aqua, it had a fun reading, and then Gemini's was a little more serious, and this one just took a neutral. Very confrontational energy here. Okay, in their heart space. I just heard that I don't have a heart. Sure you do. Someone's got heart broke, but you need to go ahead and heal that. Okay. So first up, Libra and Ravens, the 7 of Cups options. There's only one divine cup that should be a concern. They're studying and they know of the alchemical symbols. They're seeing the signs and synchronicities from their spirit guides, from spirit, from the angels around them. So they are well aware of which cup they need to take. They're moving as slow as a turtle across these calm waters, towards calmer waters. Perhaps they feel that the fog surrounding the cup is just auspicious, I'm hearing. They're auspicious of the divine, the choices of why they have to choose. They see here with the 9 of Cups that the genie in the bottle effect here is pointing clearly which cup. Again, this one is bullseye, target right over the divine cup. The genie in the bottle's right over the divine cup, but yet the right in front center are cups with fish in it, and these almost look like butterflies, but they're really blossoms around it. Very dark energy behind it, so they're perhaps having I'm sensing a shadowy perspective. Thank you, Spirit. A shadowy perspective. Still not trusting the shadowy side. They're not trusting the choices. That they have to make a choice, I'm hearing. They don't trust that they need to make a choice. Thank you. Or a decision. With the Page of Cups, though, someone is ignoring the three-party situations, the karmics, the things, the person, places, or things that are just trying to distract them. Being playful about it. Again, not a serious energy in this card this time. Normally we feel the energy differently, but they do have this science, understanding of the science close to their heart. They feel they want to put down the burdens that no longer serve them with the Ten of Wands, put an ending to something, putting an ending to either the choice making, or putting an ending to the rest of the choices. All but two. But they're moving forward, putting an end to the burden of it, of the burden of the choice. Perhaps they're going to let Spirit guide them in that choice. So in their mind space, they're thinking, let's just walk away from things that don't serve us. So whichever one of these choices that they don't feel serves their desires, then they'll move forward. They're almost sneaking away here in the dark. So they're not making a choice. They're just going to put down the burden of choice and sneak away. Turn their back to their spirit guide, not listening to the spirit guide, not to the communication from Spirit. They're going to go within and think about it, though. The Hermit here is, again, going within, thinking about those rooted beliefs, the twisted view, though, and the keeping an eye and protecting the flame. But perhaps their twisted view is not pointing out the correct cup, so they don't just want to put the burden down of even choosing. Just turn their back on all of them, perhaps. Alright, but in their mind space, they know the star, they know that there's one divine person of these choices that they're supposed to have equal balance with, that they have passion for in their mind space. Perhaps they aren't in the physical, together in the physical, but they connect in the ethers with the telepathy. Energetically, they sense the person, but they haven't seen them physically. And so perhaps that leaves them with less faith. But they are listening to the spirit guides here, or the spirit guides are telling them which one is the star, which one is the one that's going to give them balanced emotions regarding it. Okay, Page of Wands here. He's listening to the telepathy. He's listening to the holding on to the belief of this journey. He's confident in himself with the power of his decision making. He's listening to, but he has three still up here, so he's listening to all three. Chip, 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 chip. Perhaps he's even listening to other people tell him which one to choose, which is why it's such a burden to him, because he wants to just put the burden down. So he's going to friends and saying, which one? And so there is, so he's not able to communicate his feelings from the heart. This Ace of Wands, new beginning with the divine communication, is in reverse. So you're not starting with that divine communication, not discussing it with the person themselves, just listening to their friends or co-workers. King of Cups here, he's dipping his feet in the emotions, trying to try them out, per se. Like maybe he thinks, this king thinks he's going to try on a new pair of shoes. Things that come out. But he's happy about it. He's got his cup. He's filling his own cup. He's got passion. He's got his heart chakras open and filling his own cup, which is great. Doing his own self-healing. He's confident with his hand firmly placed on his staff for guidance. and he understands the connection of the two parties, being playful and youthful, and he's still tipping his toes into the emotional part of it in his heart space. In his heart space, he's being stubborn about that decision. As this Emperor is passionate, he has passion for that connection, the star, the one that he's having telepathic communication with. Again, perhaps this is just a group that is not actually in physical contact with the person, so that's why they're not making the choice in letting go of the other parties, perhaps. But he's being stubborn about it with the bull here, and very passionate with the flames pushing him behind him. And in this heart space, he feels this person feels, or if it's the feminine, she may want to make the move forward. The genders can be reversed. I know I keep saying he. This hawk is flying forward to them, though, forward to communicate, not necessarily in the truth, and he's trying to control the flight, trying to control how much truth, trying to control the communication, and how it's perceived. This energy of this card with the walking away, even turning his back on the messages from his soul or spirit guide, reminds me of like, well, I'm just gonna take a break. I'm not gonna break it off. I'm just gonna go over and, entertain these other choices for a little bit, and then, decide later type thing. That's the energy I get from this. It's not necessarily ending it completely. I get more of a sneaking off, so he doesn't have to decide at the moment without giving closure. Thank you, Spirit. Alright, so let's clarify the Seven of Cups. Clarify the Seven of Cups for these Libras and their partner. I have Libra in my moon. I was happy with the aqua. Okay, yeah, being left out in the cold, yeah. Seven of Cups, not deciding, not choosing, taking their time as a turtle, so leaving the choices, per se. I hate to make it sound that way. The people, the other parties, leaving them out in the cold because he didn't decide, or she. Nine of Cups, without feeling as though they weren't chosen as that one cup. Page of Cups. Clarify Page of Cups. Clarify Page of Cups. With the Page of Pentacles. Still about the money. Gemini was more worried about the Pentacles. The offering from the page. Walking away, putting down the burden. 10 of Wands. Clarify 10 of Wands. Knight of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles, offering a gift to someone, not knowing where they're going yet, but they have it and they should offer it, but they're not sure where or to whom. Why? Because this horse doesn't have a bridle on it, so he was just riding on a pony throughout the field with the pentacle, knowing he should offer something, but not knowing to whom or to where. Roaming aimlessly, I hear. Seven of Swords, please. Seven of Swords without direction. So, in reverse, the Lover's card, and I see these two trees in the background are dead and burned. In the Lovers look like statues here, like frozen in time. and then it's in reverse. So it's like he thinks that those lovers are going to just stay there frozen in time while love is dying on one part, but perhaps he thinks it'll still be there to go back to, but it doesn't work that way. So he goes into hangman mode to see it from another perception, from the emotional perception, because the emotional waters below him are boiling up, or he can't stop thinking about it, like the bubbling of the ocean. Thank you. And what he can't stop thinking about is the Three of Cups, the three-party situation. Better three party than the Seven Cups, because there's seven up there. Just saying, the Hermit. I think somebody took that saying, he or she took the saying, got it, flaunt it, to a whole new level. King of Cups with the star, very suave. The ship is there behind him. He's got his wand and drinking, nurturing himself with his cup of love, which is nothing wrong with healing self, unconditional love for self first, because we have to heal ourselves. We have to have unconditional love for self before we can offer to someone else. So nothing wrong with that. Communicating to other people, asking friends, to the High Priestess, trying to communicate. Which one's my High Priestess? I don't know. She will tell you the way it is, the High Priestess. She knows the lies. She knows the truth behind the lies. She knows the truth behind the veil, because the veil is removed to her. She sees all, knows all. She's in her power. She knows that she can go between the dark and the light. Clarify this wand, Ace of Wands in reverse. The Empress. The Empress is all four queens in one, right? She's the Queen of Cups, of emotion, Queen of Wands, of communication, Queen of Swords. She will cut to the chase. She'll cut to the truth. And the Queen of Pentacles, with the moon here. She lights the path for him. She's birthing a new beginning, birthing a new business, possibly even birthing his children, their children. This is the communication the Empress is waiting on, that she has been chosen. Because the Empress and the High Priestess doesn't go chasing the masculine. They sit on their thrones in their power and they wait for the masculine to come to them. Regardless to the choices, the King of Cups here, dipping his toes into the water, he still feels he has those 7 cups to choose from. Although he has to be careful. Some are one is the divine cup, but the others have anything from devil, a little bat, or snake, or a couple snakes in them. Fish. The Emperors here. You have the Emperor and the Empress. So you have a divine couple. And if we get the Hierophant, then you'll have them clarify this Emperor with this stubborn energy of passion. Being stubborn, not sure he wants to he's afraid he'll be stabbed in the back. Thank you. He's not looking to get stabbed in the back, so he's being stubborn about taking his time with the choice he makes in his heart, because perhaps he's been heartbroken before, and this is causing him to not choose, because he's afraid he'll choose wrongly. It's not that he's coming from a point of player energy, it's because he's been hurt in the past, and he's afraid he'll choose wrong. Okay. So Knight of Wands. Wow, okay, Page of Swords and Page of Wands. But they're like looking at each other like, well, I'll tell the truth if you communicate. I'll talk if you talk. Coming forward with communication. I'll talk if you talk. And that's what he's coming for. He's the Knight of Wands. Communication with these two. Anything else to this reading? Anything else to this reading? You go to the reverse. To a wand, making a decision. Choosing the wand. Choosing the wand. Anything else? Anything else, Spirit? Oh, good. Made a choice. The King of Swords matches the Queen of Swords and the Page of Swords. They're all coming in for communication while he's just sitting a little bit relaxed, kind of not in a hurry. Where'd that other one go? That Two of Wands. These are just extra energies. But now the Knight of Swords is coming in his truth. He's finally determined enough that he chose. And Seven of Wands wants to stop being blocked and not be defensive. Letting go of the defensive energy. Putting down their guard. Yeah, turning their back to the blocks and moving forward in this decision. Alright. Well, at least with the healing and self-nurturing of himself, whoever it is that had to make the decision, is doing it out of a place of, you know, they don't want to be hurt again, so that's why they're trying to take this time deciding, and not from a place of not respecting the worth of the High Priestess or respecting the Empress. Clarify, or any other advice, any other advice, Spirit? What advice would you like to tell the Libras to move on? Move on, Libra. The Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits with your soul tribe. Okay. And boundaries. Set your boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? What will you or won't you tolerate or wait for? And Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. So that's what I have for you, Libra and Raven. I hope you have a blessed week.